Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title. The Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World
Yes, welcome back to the last hour of our show and welcome to Friday Night Live, TNT Sports' new partnership with talkSPORT. And every Friday, myself and Darren Bennett will be joined by some of the biggest names from TNT Sports in what promises to be another pulsating season. TNT Sports is the only place to watch every big competition with over 700 matches broadcast live from elite European club football to English domestic league and cup competitions this season. Still to come, former Arsenal and England midfielder Fara will be joining us. But first, it's time to welcome former Chelsea midfielder and England midfielder and TNT Sports pundit, the legend that is Joe Cole, to the studio. Joey Cole, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Anne?
Just come close to the mic so we can hear.
Sorry.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm very well. It's lovely to see you.
It's good to be here.
Look, you and I were just chatting the last time I saw you was backstage at Oasis.
Yeah.
Man, you'd had a drink that night, and yeah.
That was before the concert even started. I don't think Richard Ashcroft had even started. Me and my pals, Colton and Bridgie, we had it was good, man.
It was a great, it's a fantastic gig.
I said, last time I see you was there. I was well on my way. He went, no, you was there.
Yeah. You weren't waiting for that bus. You'd got on the bus, you got to your destination, and you were having fun. But everyone was having fun. It was just a great gig, wasn't it?
Do you know what? I've seen Oasis about 7 or 8 times. I love live music. That Cardiff night's the best gig I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it was the first night, so there was the years and years and years of it won't happen again, and it all built up to that one moment.
Yeah. It was blinding.
I never knew that Carlton was a big Oasis fan.
I'm bringing him into the scene. He loves it. Yeah, bouncing mate. He loves it.
He was so far gone. I don't even know if he knows he was there that night. It was a great gig. It really was. How lovely to see you in the studio again.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Have you ever been in our new studio before?
Nah. You've spent a few quid in here, haven't you?
You spent a few quid.
It's nice, isn't it?
Do you like it?
Yeah, decent. Very, very, very bouge.
It's lovely to have you in here. We got you for the next 5 hours, right?
Where's my agent?
We got you through a busy hour, and we've got loads to talk to you about. In fact, let's talk about Chelsea. Actually, we'll talk about the England squad a bit later on. We'll talk about Chelsea. They're taking on Fulham. That game, by the way, is live on TNT Sports as well as talkSPORT. What do you make of the season that is being built at the moment, and the strategy at the club for your former side, Chelsea?
Well, the strategy is it's a hard one because I'm on telly a lot talking Chelsea, and you're trying to explain what they're trying to do, and it's a different model to the Abramovich years. That's what people have to remember. Under Roman, it was simple. It was like, right, we're trying to win every trophy, so we want to spend the most money, buy the best players. Everyone knew what they were going to do. It was quite easy, and these new owners have come in with more of a business mind on it, and they're trying to sort of and the financial regulations have come in, which means you have to be a bit, you have to be a bit tricky with the ingoings and the outgoings, and you trade it. It's not as pure as we're just trying to build a team. They're revenue streams that have to come in, so there's a lot of ingoings and outgoings, and all in that time you got Enzo Maresca. His job is to try and whatever it comes through his door to try and mould that into a team that can achieve the goals that you need to achieve. So he's got a difficult job, it's just, I think the Chelsea fans, it's hard for the Chelsea fans to understand what's going on. Do you know what I mean? But it's not what it was before. It's something different, and it can still be successful, but it might be a bit of time.
So do you almost feel like, and to me it looks like from an outside perspective, of course your side, Roman side, it was almost about get the best coach in, get the best players in, and win now. If you don't win, manager goes, next one comes in.
Exactly that.
Whereas now they're almost a little bit like, they still expect that to a certain point, but it's just going to take, whereas you guys would do it in, say, one season, it looks like this is now going to be a prolonged kind of
like a work in progress.
To get to where you guys got to.
Yeah, well, obviously, Chelsea in that era had a little bit of a cheat code because you had all of the money in the world. If Roman wanted to buy Michael Ballack or Shevchenko, you're going to go and get them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the other clubs like your Arsenal or Manchester United, they'd have to be a little bit. You work with what they got, do that, and then all of a sudden that changed a little bit as the years went on. But so they've got to be clever, and they're trying to be clever, but ultimately, as fans, you just like any fans, you just want the best players to be in your team, don't you? You're really relevant to money.
Well, you've signed a good player in Alejandro Garnacho. But I do feel, and Benty was talking earlier on about where he fits in because you've got so many similar players like that. I do feel that maybe the key areas that Chelsea should be looking at is possibly centre-half, but definitely a goalkeeper. Are you surprised they haven't really approached that?
I am a little bit because Garnacho is a good player. I was having a chat with someone about it today, and you've obviously got Gittins on that side. You've got Esteval and Neto, loads of players who can play wide. So they are stacked in that situation. And I think it's very much they react. Maybe they're thinking they're reacting to the market. It's a good player at a good price. We can get him and becomes an asset. But if the team building, like Sanchez, for instance, I think Sanchez is decent. I think he's okay, and he's got a big growth in him. His performances at the World Cup were very, very good, Benty, particularly in the final, right? So, but he has made 5 or 6 mistakes last season. So it would be easy to go and find a goalkeeper, but they still want the goalkeeper that. The difference is the model. If you want a goalkeeper who's 21, 22, and he's the top level, goalkeepers ain't top level at that age.
I know, but with goalkeepers, the age is different, right? It's probably the only area where you could get a goalkeeper that's 31 and you've still got 5 years with him.
And maybe more. And maybe more. Yeah, so I'm surprised they haven't strengthened in that area.
Like Donnarumma, right?
Donnarumma, well, is he... I don't know what his situation is at the moment.
Well, he's definitely left PSG. It's where he goes.
But it also then feels like it's the wrong profile again because Sanchez is a good shot stopper. but not best with his feet. Donnarumma's probably the best in the world at shot stopping, but not great with his feet. So you almost just swap him. I get it, Donnarumma's a better goalkeeper, but I do think I used to be of the opinion, Joe, that Sanchez is replaceable and he's not good enough to be Chelsea goalkeeper. But the longer he's gone on, the more I am starting to grow with him a little bit and go, okay, well, he is kind of minimising mistakes. And I think also as well, Enzo Maresca is starting to go, well, do you know what? If you have to go a bit more direct, just do it.
It's very rare. I can't think of a team that's won the Premier League with a poor goalkeeper.
I don't think he's a poor goalkeeper. Definitely don't think he's a poor goalkeeper. And I was thinking like the other day, what's the only time in the last 20 years where you've seen a goalkeeper at a club and you thought, at a big club, you thought, it's not really working, and then he turned it round. The only one I can think of is De Gea at United. Remember when he first come in?
Yeah, they dropped him a few times after they brought him in.
Yeah, but then he eventually got it round. So, but Sanchez is showing signs of improvement, and maybe the club and Enzo have looked at it and gone, right, the right goalkeeper's not out there. We're not going to waste money because we can't waste money.
Of course. Let's
stick with him and give him another year and see how he goes. But the frustration with the fans is probably, let's just go and get Donnarumma. Yeah. Because if we got Donnarumma and maybe another centre-half, then you're thinking, we really might have a chance.
Yeah. When you say a chance of what, though? What's the aspirations? Because I do feel there were moments early on in last season where there were some fans, not just Chelsea, but football fans, questioning whether or not Enzo Maresca was the right man, right?
Yeah.
And if there were people like that, I might have included myself in that, I can't remember. Yeah. But they've all been proved wrong.
You did.
Maybe I did, right? Maybe I thought the job was...
Maybe I might have. You did.
Not because I didn't think he had the credentials.
Shows you've got receipts. Like
We delete them after. But not because I didn't think he had credentials, but I thought at the time Chelsea was a bit of a basket case of a club. You had too many players in the squad. They were changing in the hallway. The dressing room wasn't big enough. And I just didn't know if he could handle that. Yeah. But in that season, you could argue he's overachieved. You won the conference. You won the World Club Cup. I just wonder, with all of that in the past, and now he's turned that corner, what are the aspirations for Chelsea? It's not if we do well, we've got a chance of competing, because I think Chelsea have a chance of winning the Premier League this season, no?
Yeah, you got a chance. They're certainly not. You wouldn't put them as your first, second, or maybe even third favourite, but they're under that, and it could happen. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Do you know, at the time when I knew Enzo was a bit different, we spoke to him before the West Ham game last year. He was under a bit of pressure. Remember that time when it was like, we had about 15 players over here training here. You got 5 players. It was like, what's going on? Everyone was going. And he come out and he spoke to us before the game. And he was
it at West Ham the game?
At West Ham.
I remember that game.
And he was so assertive. The way I can't remember how the game went, but the way he's dealt with it, because part of our job is like, when we're asking questions, I'm like, sometimes I'm sitting in front of a manager going, I'm asking you a question, Ben. I'm like, I know it's not really a good question to ask, but the people want to answer it. But he just dealt with it. He went, right, no, this is where I play. This is how I play. You're either coming with me or you're not. As simple as that. Don't care. But it was something along them lines, and I was like, oh, I like that. He put it on the front foot, and I think Chelsea had a good result that day. And then it started to settle, and then we got to Christmas, and I was like, and I jumped in 2-footed. I was like, we got a chance here. And then they went 7-8 games without a win. And then I'm like, that's what happens with young players and young teams.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question, this year has to be an improvement on the points tally, and the gap between first and where Chelsea are needs to be shorter. And on top of that, another cup run would be progression.
I could also remember Maresca going, because that West Ham game, do you remember Chelsea ripped them to pieces? Yeah. Jackson, I think, scored 2. I think it might have been 4-5. But I remember him at the start of the season.
We had loads of chances.
Because he was just running through the middle of them.
Yeah.
But I also remember him being really honest, and that was one thing I thought about Maresca, because I think it was the Sterling one, and he said, the reason why Raheem Sterling is training with the others is because he doesn't fit the right profile for my white player, what I want a white player to do.
Yeah.
He was really honest, but I think the Club World Cup was what made me... Even though I thought Chelsea would be in the mix this season, the Club World Cup, and particularly the final, the way they absolutely ripped PSG to pieces, made me go, oh, okay, if they get that right, consistency is going to be the problem. But that one-off game showed me that they can go toe-to-toe with anyone across Europe. Any top team across Europe, they can go toe-to-toe with them if they get it right with the tactics.
Let's go to break before we do. Where will they finish this season, Joe?
I think they'll finish third.
Okay, I mean, it sounded like you're going to say 5th or 6th there.
No. I was 2nd or 3rd.
Oh, okay.
I think
top 3 then would be who?
Top 3. I think Liverpool win it.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal and then Chelsea.
And then Chelsea, Man City 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. You're listening to Friday Night Live with our friends at TNT Sports. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, and the legend that is Joey Cole. More from the three of us right after this. Back to Friday Night Live, TNT Sports new partnership with talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Premier League 100 Club superstar member Darren Bent. Talk the superstars. We've got former Chelsea and England midfielder and TNT Sports pundit Joe Cole with us as well. Still to come, former Leeds forward Lucy Ward will be joining us. Just quickly, Johan Visser will not be part of the Brentford squad for their trip to Sunderland.
You better hope he gets that move, I'm telling you.
Well, the reason he's about deleted his...
Yeah. He's gone all in. All in.
He's gone all in. Well,
would somebody have done that for him? Like, or would you do?
I assume so.
Yeah.
But he must have gone. Yes, yeah, do it.
You do it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just thinking of I can't even bother to delete emails. You know what I mean?
No, someone's obviously working, but we haven't heard anything about Isak yet, have we?
Yeah.
That's gone a little bit quiet. Spurs have confirmed, we talked about this earlier, the signing of Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig. Right, we're delighted now to welcome TNT Sports pundit and former Arsenal midfielder Fara Williams to the show. Absolute superstar. Fara, hello, good evening to you.
Hi, good evening, guys.
How are you? You good? You well?
I'm well. I'm very well. Just got back off holiday, so yeah. Nice.
Okay. Was there no sun there?
No, there weren't actually. There actually wasn't.
Where did you go? Well, I was just talking to Joe about skiing. I can't stand skiing. Joe loves it. Where did you go? Was it a skiing holiday or in the sun?
No, I went Thailand.
Oh,
Traveled a few islands.
Far afield.
It's not, it's their rainy season, so it weren't the sun that I was expecting.
Oh, okay. But don't blame me, I'm not the travel agent. Right, listen, let's start off by discussing one of your former clubs at Everton. What have you made of their start to the season and, of course, that move away from Goodison Park?
Yeah, I think their opening game, I think for the fans was disappointing to go away to Leeds, which is always difficult. But the result was disappointing for them. They weren't happy with that. I've got a few Evertonians, some mates up there, and spoke to them about that. But I think they were delighted with the home game. I think they're delighted with the new stadium. I think that's a big lift for the fans. I think there was a bit of, the move from Goodison and what Goodison meant to the fans was massive for them, and apprehensive about moving there. But I think that they're buzzing with the stadium, and obviously that 2-0 victory against Brighton and the performance that they put out. I think the fans are really happy. I think the stadium was electric. I think that the signing of Grealish for the fans, they want big players at their club, and they've got one in him for sure.
Farah, talk to me then, because you said there about Jack. I thought he was brilliant in that first game. I thought Drewsbury Hall as well played really well. What are your expectations then for Everton this season? Because the last few years have been tough. But obviously, new start, new freshness, these new exciting players. What are you expecting from Everton? I think you just got an email. I think you just got an email, Fara, as well.
Yeah, I think the fans are excited. I think, look, they know they've been struggling at the bottom for a few years now, and a club as big as Everton, they shouldn't be, down at the bottom. They should be comfortably, top 10. And I think that's the expectation from the fans. I think with some of the signings that they've brought in, and you mentioned there, Dewsbury Hall, I think, he's unlucky at Chelsea because they have such a big squad. He didn't really get, the minutes that he probably wanted and that he had at Leicester to prove himself. And he'll get that at Everton. But they've got, obviously, Grealish as well. They've just signed Barry. I don't know too much about him, but what I've seen about him is the type of player that Everton fans really appreciate, somebody that is honest, hard-working, and I think once he adapts, I think he'll be a really good signing. I know they lost, obviously, Calvert-Lewin, but I think a top 10 finish, and with the players they've signed, I think they would have hoped, though, the fans for a few more, certainly defensively in those full-back areas, but I think they'll be happy with what they have at the minute, and yeah, a top 10 finish for them, it will be a massive improvement.
I mean, I think that would be incredible for Everton, because year on year we talk about Everton after maybe 2 or 3 games. It's like, will they survive? The fact that we're talking about Everton even so early on in the season as a team that could possibly break into the top 10 is, I mean, it just underlines what an unbelievable job Moyes is doing there, right?
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic manager. I think he proved that, didn't he, when he was at Everton before, and obviously at West Ham and what he did there. And I think, he knows the fans better than anybody, and the fans absolutely adore him. And I think, the type of manager he is, the players, want to play for him, and he's tactically astute. So he's a very good manager, and I think the club fits, him and the club is a perfect fit. So yeah, I think we saw what he did last season and the run of games they can go on. It's just that consistency that they need. And I think this new stadium, I think the buzz around the stadium and with the fans will only lift them, certainly in those important games at home.
Listen, another one of your former sides in action, Arsenal, they face Liverpool. What a massive game that is. Do you think this could be the season they could win the Premier League title? It pains me to say it because Bent is alongside him and he's desperate for that to happen.
I think we've been saying it for a few years now. I don't know what it is with Arsenal and why we don't seem to. I think a lot of pundits sort of write them off. I'm one of those as well. I'm not too sure if they can do it again. But I'm not too sure if they can do it this season. It obviously, third time lucky maybe. I don't know. But Liverpool, they're the team that I think would, or I said before the season, that would win it. Having seen them at the opening 2 games, I know they've won them both, but they haven't looked convincing in both. And what I've seen with Arsenal is they look more adaptable this season with personnel that they've brought in. They, in my opinion, in the last couple of years, probably overplayed, through the lines a little bit too much at times. They've probably got arguably the best defence, Arsenal. And now I think they've adapted their style. I think they're happy to go a bit more direct. So I think they could be a surprise package in terms of that, actually winning the title this year. And I wouldn't have said that going into the season, but having seen them in the opening 2 games, we saw at Old Trafford, played a lot of the 90 without the ball, but were able to win, via a set piece. So I think they look more adaptable this year, which, probably they can go and do it, but I wouldn't have said that before the season.
Joe, when I asked for your 1 and 2, you said Liverpool, then Arsenal. What is it you think that Liverpool have got that Arsenal don't have?
Experience. I think when it comes to the crunch, I think the Liverpool players know how to win big games at big moments. I think the problem with Arsenal the last 5-6 years, and it has to happen at some point because they do keep improving, but there'll be a point in April, May, I think, where Arsenal will have a game, Benty, and I think it'll be one of them. They might not be playing well, they might have some injuries, and they'll have to win it, and the pressure will be on. I think Liverpool are capable of that at the moment, and I don't think Arsenal are.
Okay. Fara, listen, while we've got you here, we must talk about the WSL because, of course, the season kicks off, I think it's next week, and Arsenal, of course, they won the Champions League last season. Do you think that Arsenal can really sustain a challenge for the title this season?
I think they can. They're a little bit like the men, aren't they, in terms of enjoying finishing second. But, yeah, I mean, they were unbelievable in that Champions League final, and that's the sort of levels they can play at. It's just the consistency that they don't have, that Chelsea have had for the last 6 years, and hence why they've won the WSL for the last 6 years. They made a record signing in the summer, $1 million player or £1 million player in Olivia Smith. So they're certainly adding to their squad, that squad depth that they definitely need when they're in all competitions. There's no reason why they can't, but if they can get that consistency that's needed in order to win it, because there's not many games in the WSL. They have, I think it's 22 game season, so not many games in the WSL. So if they can get consistency, there's no reason with the squad they have, the manager they have, that they can do that.
Fara, what confidence could they take though after winning the Champions League, where, to be fair, no one really gave them a chance Arsenal winning it, and they went there and did win it? How much confidence will that give them going into the season? Then they can compete with the best.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think the ability that they know that they knocked out Lyon and beat Lyon away from home, who have never been beaten in 3 seasons going into that fixture. So they can beat their very best. In one-off games, they probably are, capable of being the best team in England and in Europe. But it is only those one-off games that they're able to do that in. I think the fact that they beat, Barcelona in that final and were completely wrote off. I think if they trust in the manager and the process of what they're trying to do at the club and show that consistency that I mentioned, then they've got a great chance of winning the league.
Fara Williams, thank you so much for coming on. You don't look jet lagged. Are you through it? When did you get back?
I'm tired. Yesterday evening.
Oh,
I'm going down, ready for bed. I just threw a top on my hair. Look at me.
Okay. You've come on the breakfast show, right? It's 6:30 in the morning, don't you? Yeah. Hey, listen, you look great. Thank you as always for coming on. It's very kind of you. Sleep well. Get that.
Thanks, Fara.
Much needed rest. Thanks, Fara.
Cheers, Fara.
Still to come, former Leeds forward Lucy Ward will be joining us. But first, it's time for No Googling. Now, we're, of course, joined in the studio by TNT Sports pundit Joe Cole. Many will remember Joe's outrageous, fluky volley against Sweden in the 2006 World Cup.
It's awful, isn't he?
The game ended 2-2. It was an amazing goal. We want to know, who did Joe set up for the second goal? Don't say it. Do you know the answer?
Yeah.
Bentley, do you know it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're such a liar. The answer to that and loads more coming up live on our show right after this on talkSPORT.
Is Alexander Isak now free to make his move? Well, maybe, given that Newcastle have agreed to sign Stuttgart striker Nick Voltemade for a deal totalling £69 million. Our European experts have compared him to Peter Crouch, a big man with a great touch who can also weave in and out of challenges. Our transfer reporter Ben Jacobs says it remains to be seen if Newcastle will now open the door to another Liverpool bid.
If you're Liverpool and you're looking at this profile and the money spent, you're taking encouragement, because regardless of who comes in, if it's 150, Liverpool won't be there. If it's closer to 120 million, they will be.
Jose Mourinho's been sacked by Fenerbahce just hours after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was fired by Besiktas. Could either succeed Ruben Amorim? Well, Ben Foster's told us Gareth Southgate could maybe do it, given his ability to change the mindset within a dressing room. Either way, he says a new goalkeeper is a must, and there are so many that have already slipped through their fingers.
I just don't know why they're not going out and getting a Donnarumma or an Emi Martinez, because I think once you get that goalkeeper sorted, I think that's just the building blocks of where you need to get to.
Elsewhere, talkSPORT understands Xavi Simons has had his Spurs medical and everything's been signed after a €60 million fee was agreed. Alejandro Garnacho's move to Chelsea has been agreed as well. The initial fee is £40 million with another 10 in add-ons. Get all the latest transfer lines at talksport.com.
You're listening to Friday Night Live. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, Joe Cole is here. This is all thanks to our friends at TNT Sports. In fact, before the break, I asked a question about Joe Cole. Joe scored that ridiculous goal for England in the 2006 World Cup, chested it down and smashed it into the corner. The game ended 2-2, but you also had an assist in that game. And the question was, who was that assisting to a goal? You couldn't remember?
I couldn't know.
Okay. Any idea? Do you want to have a little guess?
Gerrard, maybe?
It was Gerrard, yeah. Do you tell him, Joe? You sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. All right. You got it in front of you, have you? This Friday Night Live, TNT Sports, new partnership with talkSPORT, myself, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, and the brilliant Joe Cole. We're with you till 7. Then following us, it's Majestic and Flex. They bring you the transfer insiders. But now we're delighted to welcome former Leeds forward and TNT Sports pundit, the wonderful Lucy Ward, to the show. Hello, Lucy. Good evening to you.
Hi, boys. Hi, Josie.
Hello, Lucy.
Are you good? You well?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just getting ready to come down to London for the game tomorrow.
That looks like a fantastic den you're in. Can you just talk us through some of the stuff on the walls you got there?
Well, they're all Neil Redfern's my partner. They're all his shirts, so that's his wall.
Yeah.
The best Barnsley player ever. So I'm reminded of that quite a lot.
Where's your shirts, Luce?
Exactly, yeah. Joe. There's no room for mine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got one here. There's one here. It's when I played in Lucas Radovich's testimonial and scored a goal.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks so much for coming on. Let's start off by discussing the game tomorrow. You're part of the coverage for Chelsea against Fulham. It's live on TNT Sports, of course. What are you expecting from Chelsea this season? Because one of the questions I was asking Joe about before is, have they got a genuine chance of winning the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Maresca. I think that he's been dealt a really difficult hand in terms of, you know, the lots of players he had to deal with, just getting a squad together. I think that they dipped in the middle of the season last season, but I think the thing about him is tactically he's very shrewd, and I think that he's so adaptable. I think the best example I can give is the start of the season when they played Palace. Glasner set Palace up, so basically they pressed the front three and try and stop Caicedo getting on the ball, and it worked. It worked absolutely perfectly. Then West Ham tried to do the same, and he changed it. He dropped Caicedo a little bit deeper. So little tweaks like that, I think that adding to the forward line and the fact that, that they're not as reliant on Cole Palmer as they have been, which is good for Chelsea. Estevao I like, he's exciting. João Pedro is such a good player. So yeah, I think that it's very positive for Chelsea now and a lot more stable.
Lucy, do you think as well with the players that they've brought in and the squad that they've got, they are going to be in a lot of competitions this year? Do you think they've got the squad in terms of strength and depth to be able to deal with all fronts?
Yeah, Champions League, Darren, I think, it's a big thing. And what happened last year, because I covered, I think, every, Conference League game, Dog and Duck FC, all that, Carabag, every Chelsea game, I went everywhere. And he had basically a separate team, which was brilliant for the kids and the players that were just on the fringe and they saw a pathway into the first team. He won't be able to do that now. He'll have to play a strong team in the Champions League. It'll then depend on which match days, which games follow, which match days. So it'll be a little bit more difficult for him, but he's got that squad depth now.
Listen, we can't have you on the show and not talk about Leeds United. What do you make of their chances of staying up, and how important do you think Ellen Road is and that 12th man for them this season?
Yeah, it's key, Andy. I think, the number of games that they win at Ellen Road will be the difference between them staying up or not. The only problem you've got, and having been there for years and years, is that it's a very positive place, but it can also be full of pressure. That shirt is very, very heavy if you're not playing well, and you're not a sort of player who is brave enough to wear it. But I think you saw versus Everton. I don't think Everton were particularly in good form when they came to Ellen Road at the start of the season. But if they can get wins there, I think they got a little bit of not a surprise, but straight back down to earth against Arsenal. It just looked men v boys. Like Declan Rice looked like he was a dad playing with his kids in the middle of midfield. It was, but they've signed athletic players and they need to play them because that's the way to compete in the Premier League. But yeah, home form is absolutely key.
Lucy, I mean, someone who obviously made their debut against Sheffield Wednesday was Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And he had a bit of a tough time, of course. He missed the penalty, missed a couple of good chances as well. How important do you think he's going to be? But it's not so much just about him on the pitch. How important is it that they keep him on the pitch? Because we know, of course, at Everton, he struggled with injuries.
Yeah, I mean, they've just released Patrick Bamford, who's very similar. Scores goals when he's fit, but then just keeping him fit has been an absolute nightmare. And I do think... Actually, the result against Sheffield Wednesday is a lot more worrying than the result against Arsenal, because Sheffield Wednesday were basically playing their under-21s team and Leeds still didn't get through in the cup. But yeah, Calvert-Lewin, when he's on form, and I think he's a type of player where he literally has to be 100% fit. And like you all know that is so difficult as a player. You always got some sort of pain or like something somewhere. But I think he's got that mindset where he thinks if he goes in and he's not 100%, then something may happen. So it's about sort of channeling that mindset and making sure you get him on the pitch, because they need goal scorers. They've sort of. I think they need more players. I think the Leeds fans I've sort of read today are really sort of wobbling about, we missing out on certain players. I think Buonanotta's going to go to Chelsea, which is fair enough. But I think they've lost players to other clubs that perhaps that they think that they can compete with players for.
Mm. Lucy, listen, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on, and have a great day tomorrow.
Thanks, you. Luce. See you later.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. See you, Joe. See you tomorrow.
That was the former Leeds forward and TNT Sports pundit Lucy Wald. She'll be part of the coverage for tomorrow's game between Chelsea and Fulham, which, of course, you can watch live on TNT Sports 1 with coverage starting at 11 a.m. Now, earlier today, we heard the news that Jose Mourinho had been sacked as the manager of Fenerbahce. And, of course, we joined in the studio by a man who played under Jose in that brilliant Chelsea side that won back-to-back titles in 05 and 06. Joe, you know Jose better than most.
Mm-hmm.
Has he still got a place in the Premier League? He has.
I believe so. I think the Fenerbahce job was a funny one to take. I think he genuinely loves football and he wants to be part of it. And even like when he was at Tottenham, we seen Conte go to Tottenham as well and struggle with how they sort of and again to sack him before the League Cup final was a strange decision.
Can I ask a question to you?
Go on.
Right. I don't want you to tell me the reason because we're on air.
Go on.
Do you actually know the reason why he was sacked before that League Cup final?
Do I know? No, only what I've heard from
talking to people behind the scenes.
No one who can, not from the horse's mouth, but you hear the rumours it may have been a financial decision and things like that. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, you don't know how true that is, but it would when something so strange as to sack the manager before a cup final happens, it has to be quite a sort of a strange reason like that. And finances would maybe have dictated it, because you want, especially Jose Mourinho in a cup final.
If he's got a deal where in his deal it says that if you bring silverware and you'll get this much money, they've got that in place because they want him to win silverware. So if he gets you to the final, why would you? I don't. Yeah, I mean, again, that. If that is part of it, we don't know.
I've got to put an asterisk on it. I don't know if it's true, and it's just a strange thing. But anyway, again, I think you put Tottenham to bed. I think the Manchester United, what he done at Manchester United in that spell. Now you finish in second.
One of the Cup Europa League.
2 or 3 trophies. That looks very, very good now. That's aged very well. So Roma winning the Conference League and getting to the Europa League final. So I don't buy into this thing where he's spent. I think there's a lot into him, and I think coming back to England would be massive for him.
Let me ask, your whole club, West Ham, they're struggling a little bit with Potter. He's been linked to West Ham. Would you like to see him there?
It's strange. It's hard because I don't like to see any. First of all, I'd like to see Graham Potter be given time. So I want to say that first. I know it's not looking good for him, and he seems like a good man. And you manages, but I think it'll be fireworks if they were together. I think it'll.
Who were together? West Ham and Jose?
Yeah.
Bad fireworks?
Good fireworks.
Good fireworks.
Yeah, good. I think it'll be good. But again, I know this will probably get clipped up, but I think Potter should be given time. I do
How
think
much?
I think he should be given at least till Christmas. At least till Christmas, and at least the opportunity to bring players in. Because I think what came in when he got the job at West Ham.
Yeah.
I think the David Moyes era, then Lopetegui come in, and it was almost like an operation in how to unfold good work and destroy a club. And then you're not just starting from scratch, you're starting from minus. Because the German fella come in at West Ham with the big reputation, Tim Steidem, to bring the right players in. And now look at the players he's brought in. Most of them are on the bench or in the reserves now. He spent a lot of money. So I think there's a lot to be accountable for his performance in signing players, but also for who've given him the responsibility to do that. So then I think Lopetegui's come in. I think then it got worse. Get backwards again, and then so Graham Potter's now he's putting out fires. He's trying to use the kids. So I would love to see him be given time.
Can I ask you a horrible question?
Yeah, go on.
Is Jared Bowen too good for West Ham?
It's a hard question.
It's a hard question, but in what sense?
Well, I think he's such a good player that he should be playing European football.
He deserves to be playing. He deserves to be playing in the Champions League, and he deserves to be a player that wins trophies and maybe play more times with Benty. Do you know what I mean? But he also, I know he loves the club. I know he loves the club, and he loves playing there and everything. And he signed a big contract, and his family is settled and everything. But as a footballer, he should be winning trophies regularly and playing in the Champions League, because he's just a goal scorer. Isn't he?
Okay, let me ask you this:
Go on.
If West Ham don't perform and they have problems and they're in the bottom 5 around Christmas time, do you think a player as good as Jared Bowen is less likely to be picked for a World Cup squad than if he was in a team that was knocking on the door of top 4?
Yeah, and not necessarily just because of that, because if West Ham are in the bottom 5 at Christmas, things are not looking good, chances are Jared Bowen's not performing it.
That's right.
And not because of himself,
it's a team game,
because
right?
it's like service is wrong, confidence is wrong. That goes without saying. So yes, it's true. If that would give him less of a chance, I would imagine, because of circumstances. But it could sometimes some players shine even more, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes, for instance. Like, he's been playing with the last 2 years. It's been abysmal at Manchester United. What's around him? He's consistently played well and consistently shined.
Do you think Ruben should be given more time?
I don't. Good question. Yeah, you've snookered me there, haven't you? No. Can I be honest? Do I think he should be given more time?
Okay. Do you think he's got what it takes to turn Manchester United into what the owners and the fans think they should be turned into?
I'm going to answer you something. I don't think there's any one football coach in the world in the current structure has got what it takes to turn Manchester United singularly. I think they're answerable to the people above, around Ruben. It's not just Ruben Amorim. He has a big part to play, and I think signing a young, exciting manager like him, who was everyone in world football, we couldn't do no wrong. You talk about him like he was the second coming.
Yeah.
When he come in, and I always held fast. Let's wait and see what he actually does. Because this is a difficult job. The Manchester United job at that circumstances, I think, was you needed safe hands. You needed someone who understood the league, who understood the business structure of it. That's why I thought they should have given it to Gareth Southgate. And Man United fans would probably have shouted you down. Yeah. We want Amorim. But looking back now, who do you want to navigate a ship out of choppy waters? Like, Gareth might not be the guy who's going to win you the Champions Leagues, but Man United are miles away from that now. So I think I would have gone, especially your main man, what's his name, the owner, Ineos.
Ineos.
Ratcliffe, right? So he's a businessman, right? He understands about, he's not. It doesn't strike me as a romantic. Like, we're going to get this young Portuguese suave coach in, and he's going to turn us from 8th to compete with Man City. He must have understood there's processes to be put in place that needs to happen, and you need people who have a real understanding of English game, English culture, also business as well. So I was actually stunned they didn't give it to Gareth when they did. But yeah,
okay. Good. You got out of that snooker one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Do you think he'll stay? I'm only joking. This is Friday Night Live on talkSPORT in partnership with TNT Sports. Up next, Benton. Joe Cole will be predicting some of the weekend's biggest games in the Premier League. Welcome back. This is Friday Night Live, TNT Sports, new partnership with talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, and TNT Sports pundit and superstar Joe Cole is with us in the studio. A reminder that follow us at 7 Majestic and Flex. They'll bring you transfer insiders. Right, time now for this.
It's time.
It is tight and tense.
We're flying and our fists are punching. DB versus TNT.
What drama on talkSPORT, just when you think you've seen it all.
Good night.
Good night indeed. Well, not yet. This is our brand new feature, DB v TNT bracket sports, where every week on Friday Night Live, Premier League 100 club member Darren Bent pits himself against our special studio guest from TNT Sports. This week, of course, we're joined by the superstar that is Joe Cole. Every Friday, they'll be predicting some of the biggest games from the Premier League this weekend. If they correctly predict the result, they'll be given a point. But if they get the score in a game bang on, they'll get more points. 3 points, to be precise. We'll be tallying up the scores throughout the season with TNT Sports experts, pundits, working together to beat and tonk our very own Darren Bent. Now, it was a low-scoring week last week with Hugo Monnier. Picking up, just in case he's listening, picking up just 1 point for Team TNT Sports.
Was he fuming with Hugo?
He said to me in the break, I went, is it Hugo or...
Hugo.
No, I said, is it Hugo or...
He said, or Hugo. And he went, it's Hugo. And you went, oh, we're Hugo then.
Oh, he said, don't call me Hugo, I hate it. And I
Really?
went, okay, welcome back, we've got Hugo alongside. Anyway, he was pretty poor, was Hugo. He got 1 point. You both correctly predicted that Chelsea would beat West Ham, but neither thought Spurs would beat City or Liverpool would win at Newcastle. Yeah. So the current score at the moment is DB Darren Bent 2, TNT bracket sports 3.
Oh,
okay,
it's coming home. Don't worry, it's coming home.
It's a long way to go. This week, Benny and Joe, you both. Well, it says you both had 30 seconds. I'll give you a bit longer. Let's go through the games. Chelsea v Fulham. That one is live on talkSPORT and TNT Sports 1 tomorrow, 12:30. So, Joe, you don't have to jump straight in with your answer. But how do you see this game going? Chelsea against Fulham. Did you used to like playing in this type of game?
With London derbies?
Yeah,
love London derbies. This is the most friendliest London derby.
I bet it is.
It's just so polite. It's just like, it's about...
The polite derby.
The polite derby, like avocado on toast. But then when Chelsea play West Ham or Chelsea play Tottenham, it gets a bit...
Yeah, there's smashing going on, but it's not avocados.
Yeah,
right?
So, but it seems very friendly. Like, So, no, I think Chelsea win this. I think Fulham have stood still. I think you cannot stand still. You can't have a summer in the Premier League when all the teams around you are going again. And especially if you've got Silva as your manager.
How much do you say they spent?
500k euros.
500k
euros.
Man City probably spend that on baked beans in the season. You know what I mean?
Smashed avocado.
Yeah, smashed avocado. Yes. Yeah.
Go on, Joe. How can you see this one?
I'm going to see this as a 3-1 to Chelsea.
Okay. Go on, what are you going to say?
No.
Okay, Benny?
Yeah, I had it as the same. I wrote it down earlier. You saw me write 3-1 down.
Why haven't you written anything there?
I can show you when I was crooked.
No, it's fine. I believe you.
I think Chelsea.
Dodgy like that.
No, I really have 3-1.
So dodgy.
Oh, do you know what?
No, why don't you change it?
3-0.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-0.
I've won that one.
It's got a whole page. It's completely blank.
Chelsea.
Right, so you're going 3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah.
Joe, you've gone 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I don't know if I want to do this one. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the mighty Manchester United take on great team. Burnley. Good. Don't underestimate the Burnley side. Championship winners. Yeah. Great team. Joe, what are you going for?
I'm going to go...
Do it without smiling, if both of you, all right?
No. They got to win. Man United have to win. They have to win. They have to win. I was in France. I was on holiday and I was sitting outside on the veranda. My son was watching the Man United Grimsby games. I didn't even want to watch it. And he's screaming. He's going, Dad, who is this team that's beating Manchester United? He's going, what are they called? I'm like, mate.
I was asking the same question.
Yeah, it was. And he said they was good for it. So
they were great for it.
Having said that, I'm going to go with a Man United tight 1-0 win. Horrible. Old Trafford, toxic, and they 1-0.
Okay,
I've gone 2-1 United.
You both.
You know what? I think that Burnley will score from a set play. I think set play they will score
at the back. You know what? With crosses,
yeah,
it won't be Onana in goal, will it? Okay, we've got one left. Liverpool, the big one. Joe, Liverpool against Arsenal. That one Sunday at 4:30.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Desmond,
has he done it? He's had a Desmond, yeah.
Desmond Douglas.
Okay.
2-2. Yeah. Joe, you've been great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Enjoyed that.
You've been an absolute superstar. You lot out there in Radio Land, you'll be listening to Friday Night Live on talkSPORT in partnership with TNT Sports. It's the only place to watch every big competition with over 700 matches broadcast live, from elite European club football to English domestic league and cup competitions this season. And a reminder that you can watch Chelsea against Fulham. That's in the Premier League. It's live on TNT Sports 1 tomorrow from 11. Benty and I, we're going to be back on Monday as we bring you deadline day drive time as that transfer window slams shut. Have you got your outro? You've been doing it all week on ChatGPT. Benty's trying to find the perfect outro. So, Joe, thank you for coming in. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you Monday at 4 p.m. But, of course, I'll leave the last words to my co-host, Darren Bent.
It's been great hanging out with you. Same time, same place, Monday. Don't miss it.